Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. And how are you doing today? I'm NatashaJohn-Baptiste, founder of Sweet Mind, a company that deals with love, life, relationships and emotions. If you like the content that I'm speaking about, please feel free to click that subscribe button and ding dong hit that notification bell. I'll put a link in down below for you to see what we really are about. And yeah, we're all about tackling, like I said, the emotions, life and love. And today, one of the questions that was sent to me was regarding relationships and 10 of the most common problems that we find in relationships and what makes relationships break down. So here we are, let's go. 10 common mistakes that we make in relationships. Now, the first common mistake is taking each other for granted. And it's so true, isn't it? Sometimes you may have been in a long-term situation and you just, oh darling, where's my socks? The expectation that your wife or your husband or your partner will run around for you and just be taken, why ain't my dinner ready? You know, that kind of thing, taken for granted. And then that can really dampen the relationship down. The next point is overstepping boundaries. Now, do you set boundaries within relationships? Because it's very, very important that everyone within the relationship is clear on what our boundaries are. Now, there are some things that we know that we can take, but there are some things that we know that we just not going to put up with, and that is crossing the line. A boundary is not a wall, but it's a line that you won't overstep. And that's really something that must be set if you're going to have a successful relationship. So that next point is overstepping boundaries. Also making assumptions, like pre-thinking about what your partner's going to say or assuming that your partner's going to do something. Now that doesn't always work out that way, you know, that you can make that assumption that your you might arrange to go out for a meal, for instance, at someone else's house without pre-arranging it with your partner. That's making an assumption, and are they going to be happy with that? More times than not, when we make assumptions, it leads into the next point, and that's conflict. And in some circumstances, people tend to want to avoid conflict, when in fact we should talk face on, head on, and resolve the issues, because when we allow things to mount up, this too can bring pressure into a relationship and thus it will dissolve. So really resolving those conflicts and having it out, speaking about things in order to restore that equilibrium. Obsessing and fighting over everything. Oh babes, you burnt the dinner again. Our reactions to the situation, are we a reactor or we a detractor in the fact that if something happens, how do we respond to that? Do we blow everything out of proportion, or do we go away, think about it, and then try it again, going back up to that point before, resolving the conflict? Because that's the best way to really tackle any issues that might come up. Oh yeah, this is a really good one. Looking to your partner for your happiness. Now, I've spoken about this before as well. You'll find the video up there. We can't rely on other people to make us happy. We're the ones that make ourselves happy. Others only enhance our happiness. So our partners aren't going to bring us happiness. We got to have that within ourselves before we expect it from someone else. Do we keep score? Oh, well, you done this to me last week, so do you know what? I'm going to do this to you this week. Because again, it will only got to the point up there that we've spoken about, conflict. Now, let things go, let it go. And I know it's so easier said than done just to let things go, but seriously, let it go. And that's where the ego, I've spoken about this too, the ego, learning to be not in control of it, but to know that, you know, when it's rising up, no, I'm going to dampen that down and we're not going to focus on ego. I'm going to let it go and then have a peaceful household. when we stop being kind to each other. So when we first met, we were in the awe of like love, life and peace and wanting to make each other happy, doing nice things for each other, and then maybe it stopped. Now, kindness, it doesn't take a lot to be kind, even a kind word, a kind gesture, and especially within relationships, it's so important to be kind to each other. And lastly, if we are finding things rough, giving up too soon, do you know they used to make things to last? They used to make things that will last a lifetime, whereas now, the minute something breaks down, we throw it out and go and get the newer model, upgrade, as they say. But upgrading on relationships is a lot of work, and staying in relationships is a lot of work as well. However, it's not impossible to live peacefully alongside a life partner, a soulmate, living aside someone that you love deeply and want to please, as well as them pleasing you. So these are the 10 conflicts within relationships, but they don't have to ruin something that can be so beautiful. Now, it's all putting things into practice and really letting that ego, dampening that down and being the bigger person always. I'm NatashaJohn-Baptiste. Yes, founder of Sweet Minds. If you like content that I speak about every week, please feel free to click that link, that subscribe button below, ding dong, hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Take care.